Hello Dreamers, today I made a teleportation system that you could use for any character of your choice. The way this teleportation system works is that you're supposed to use this microchip, it doesn't have a lot of logic in it, and you put this into a possessable. Now, when you're using a possessable and you move into this trigger range, this will activate a tag that will promptly kill the possessable. Now, once that possessable is sensed, it will activate this timeline, which has two keyframes. Now, these keyframes aren't actually anything to do with this logic right here, but if I show the groups, you'll see that there's two cameras. Now, keyframe 1 activates this camera, keyframe 2 activates this camera. Now, you might wonder why this uses cameras. Well, when I'm using cameras, I have a zone here that senses cameras in a very small range. And once the camera is in it, as you can see, it does a bit of processes. Now, this is simply just double checking if your character is dead or alive. And once it can confirm that your character is dead, it will activate this signal manipulator that moves on to activate the switch so that the signal stays on, because checkpoints, these need a long signal. You can't just send it a blip and it will activate. You have to send it something longer than a blip. And a switch, that's a pretty big blip. That's like a constant signal as long as it's on. So while it's on, it will activate the checkpoint. Once the checkpoint is activated, it will activate a timeline with a node in it. Now this node here is just used for an input window. And that node will activate this tag, which is the tag that kills the character. Now, once this timeline finishes, it resets. All of these timelines do. And when this is activated, it will turn the switch back off, allowing the teleport function to be used again. Now the fog is just for effects. That can easily be deleted. There wouldn't be too much of a consequence deleting the fog. So, now that I've explained how the teleporter works, it's time to actually use this teleporter. Okay. So this is basically the information for the level. Once you delete that, it just turns into a few microchips. This is so that the player wouldn't have to, go through an annoying process of deleting all of this. So I walk in and I teleport, just as predicted. And I walk in here and I teleport back here, just as predicted. And I can keep doing this as many times as I want because I've made them reusable. Now, of course, you can set a amount of uses for the limit of the teleport by using a counter, or you could just make it not reusable by making the switch permanently on and then making it so once the switch turns on, a lot of the other logic just kind of cuts off. There's a lot of ways you can transform it very simply. But yeah, this is basically the teleportation logic, and it's very simple to use. You just put this in a possessable, you put from somewhere, and you put to wherever you want to get to from. So, with that, have fun. I don't know.